Hi everyone, Juan Finance here, and thank you very much for tuning in. And sa mga new subscribers natin, thank you very much for subscribing. And in this short video, we're going to cover the top performing equity funds as of fourth quarter 2021. Now, para kanino ba itong equity funds? If you are not um, equipped with direct stocks trading, so etong mga equity funds, pwede nyo i-consider as part of your portfolio. So here are the features of equity funds: high risk, high potential returns, and recommended usually sa aggressive investors, and ideal investment horizon is at least 5 years. So let's start first with peso currency, and we will focus only to local equity funds. Okay. So here we have our benchmark. We have the Philippine Stock Exchange index performing around 7,000 level. This is as of January 3. So makikita nyo almost ka-level niya na yung pre-COVID, but it's a bit short by maybe around 10%. Okay, dito sa pre-COVID level natin. But it's almost there because of the recent development in the economy and of course the vaccination rate of the country. So yung peso equity funds natin performing here on top of our list, we have Atram 24%, Phil Equity 13, RCBC R25, that's 11%, China Bank High Dividend at 6.22, and then Value Equity at 5.48%. So that's for 1 year net of taxes and fees. Now, what if meron kang 100,000 and then in investment for a year? Now, for Atram, you could have earned 24,440 for field equity. That's 13,000 for RCBC. That's 11 for China Bank High Dividend. That's 6,200, and for value equity, that's 5,480. Okay, so let's try to zoom in dito kay Atram. Atram is, if you're going to look at here, charging around 2.0% per annum. So it's acceptable. Okay, ang usual range ng management fee or trust fee pag equities nasa around 1.5 to 2%. 2% is actually the most expensive one na nakita ko so far. So this one is actually among them. That's 2%. Now for 1 year, that's 28.97%. That's as of November 2021. Okay, so ito yung mga since inception nila, 5 years annualized, that's performing 4.53% per year. Okay, so yung composition ng fund, it's 90% equity, and then more on retail exposure here, and as well as property sector, that's around 20 to 15% respectively. And the top assets or top holdings of the fund, we have here Robinson's Land, 9% of the fund, Wilcon Depot, 8%, and Century Pacific Food at 8%. Okay, so here's our dollar lists. So we are going to focus only to feeder and fund of funds. So our benchmark for our dollar equities, we have the S&P 500 as of January 3 or 4 rather. It's actually performing 4,787. It's way up, the pre-COVID level. So it's because of the development in vaccine. You have the infrastructure bill, infrastructure spending of the U.S. government, and so on and so forth. So they have a lot of initiatives there to push their economy to recover faster compared to the Philippines. That's why. So here we have our list of top performing dollar equity funds. On top, we have the BPI Invest US Equity Index, 27%, followed by SB US Equity, 25%. We have here the SB US Equity again, 25%. So kindly take note of the classes here: Class B, Class F, and again, on the fourth place, we have the SBUS equity, but this time it's Class A performing 24%. And then the fifth place, we have Atram performing 19.71% net of taxes and fees for a year. So what if meron kang $10,000 and then you invested dito sa dollar equity funds natin for a year, you could have gained, for example, in BPI Invest US Equity Index, that's around 2,767. Now, for the rest of the Security Bank US equities here, almost very similar returns at 2,500, 2,500, and 2,419 or 91 rather for SB Equity Class A. And we have here our Atram giving you 1,971 for a year. Okay, so let's try to zoom into BPI Invest US Equity Index Feeder. Okay, we have here holding period none, so this is actually very good. It means that you can easily buy or subscribe and redeem the fund anytime. Minimum investment is $1,000. It's quite expensive though. We have some funds there with a minimum of 500 only, and then for additional investment that's 500. Trust fee is 0.75%. Now, considering that it's an equity index feeder, and then dollar denominated 0.75 is for me it's still affordable. For the usual range of trust fee and management for equity funds again are around 1.5 to 2%. So 0.75% is actually affordable figure for me. And then for the top or for the performance of the fund for a year, it's 27.51%. We have here the benchmark. It's performing 27.95, so it's very close though. Now the fund has its peso class, okay? So that's why they have here class P. So if you want to invest using your dollar, you can grab the class A, or if you want the peso class, you can grab class P. Okay, so class B is actually performing well because we have here the foreign exchange factor. So it would mean that the peso class would be more volatile compared to its dollar counterpart. For 5 years, annualized return is around 16.43% per annum. And for 2019, it actually performs 30%, the best year performance in 5 years so far. The worst is actually in 2018, performing negative 6.27%. Okay, so our exposure here is more on tech companies. That's almost 30% of the fund, and the top 10 holdings are actually here. On top of the list, we have Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Google, Nvidia, and the rest of the tech companies of the US market. Okay, that's it. Here's our sources. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you learned something. Please do like the video, and if you want others to understand, kindly share this video. And if you need to know more, kindly subscribe so you won't miss any future videos that we're going to make. Thanks for dropping by.